Hey, Anthony here from West Coast Custom Concrete, the best in the West. Today's video is a 9-yard pour. It's a run on the side of the house of that last 3 videos I poured. This is the last video I'm doing there. I poured a total of 70 yards at this property. So we're setting all this up. The grades are way low, so we're going to bring in base. Javier is setting everything up here. It's only about 9 yards. Broom finish, standard concrete. There's the back wall and sidewalk I poured. Right here he's hooking to. So this is, like I was saying, the end of the pour. That's the beauty of having your own pump and equipment. This job I could just set it up and bring my pump whenever I can get concrete. My pump's sitting there. So if you're doing concrete, you should consider getting a pump, all the equipment, little by little. You'll be full scale. I can place concrete anywhere I want, uphill, downhill, staircases you guys have seen I've done, benches, pump it whatever slump I want, because the pour day is the most important day, essentially, because that's the payday. So you want everything to go right. You want to lay it down the way you want it. If you want it stiff, you can have it, pump it stiff or wet it up or whatever. There's a grade there, so we're going to have to bring in a good amount of base. The boys are setting up. This was the hottest day of them all, probably. It's probably about 105 degrees out this day. These guys got long sleeves on. Figure that out. But we're setting it up, and it's pretty easy pour. 3 guys. We had 3 finishers on it, just because up along the house it's kind of locked in. There's the road base here. I think that's 3.5 or 4 yards. So you can see this trailer holds a pretty good amount. I could probably carry 5 yards of base pretty easily. I think that's 4 yards or 3.5. I don't remember, but it's a decent little load for little residential jobs. We're just going to dump in the street and Javier will bobcat it back there. I was over it from the heat, so I just had him do it. It's the beauty about being independent. You don't have to worry about when you work, or you can work when you want to, pick jobs you want when you get to a certain stage. Being independent, very important in life. If you're at a job and punching a clock 40 hours a week and you don't get along there with people, the reason why is you weren't born to do that kind of stuff. You can just roam around like I do and do what you want to do, but you got to pay your dues and learn how to do this stuff, and it's pretty fun learning. So it's not like you're pinned in an office or punching a clock. I work when I want, as much as I want. Could I be a millionaire? No problem. The potential I have and stuff. Do I want to? I don't want to work that much. I want to work enough to live the way I want to. I want to be more judged of what kind of dad I am and the way I treat people. I never really go after money that much. I make a lot of money, but I live pretty lavish, but it's about as lavish as I care to live. I don't care to work 80 hours a week. Between working and posting videos and stuff, it's a lot of work. So we just shoveled, hand graded that side, and we went and got a whacker for this base to really thump it down tight. It was tight. It was almost like concrete when they were done with it. Those are really good base to pour on. This house had really silty, powdery dirt I was ingesting for a week. It was horrible. And it was airborne. The wind would come up and it would just start flying around. But the base compacted really well with it. I'm just putting the tractor away. That's a number 3 rebar, 18 on center. Might have to add a foot to these ramps. It's a little funky. I just head in and spin around, because the weight of the breaker I put in the bucket going up and backwards, the breaker tends to slide out, so I just spin around up in it. I could hook it and tie it in there a little better, back it in, but it's pretty easy this way. My other tractors, I just back them up. The buckets are deeper, they hold the hammer better. Here's my pump here. This is an Olin 545. We're going to pump at 5.5, 6 in this heat. 2 hours, it's done. It's cooked, we're out of there. This is on a Saturday. The boys had another job Friday, so they couldn't come. So I couldn't get a first round job, which is a 7 o'clock. This was a 9:30, and he got there at 10, so it was cooking when we poured this down. I couldn't get out of here fast enough. There's the front driveway and entryway right there we poured. These are basic jobs, very lucrative, good jobs. I'm back in Huntington the next 5 I have signed, so I'm back to being happy because the GPS said 10 minutes. The next 5 jobs I have, that's the farthest I'm going. This was an hour 5 from my house. Here's the setup here. Everything whacked down tight, compacted. We just use steel stakes on it. The owner had steel stakes, so we use mainly steel stakes. It's probably 150 feet of hose. As far as the pump, it's just an in and out, fast as you want to go. My boy Ray came out with the mud on Saturday. So you just want to get the grade along the wall when you're pumping it, and then they could use their hands or a trowel and get the level right, and then they could rod off the 2x4 and off the wet screed they just set, the wet grade they just got against the wall. But if you don't have a pump, you're not going to do staircases like I do, hillsides. You're so limited to your potential of what you're capable of doing and to see how good you can get and this custom stuff you can do. Because the people I see post on, it's just basic. They're not going to do that bench, the J-ditch, stairs. Imagine I'm trying to Georgia buggy that stuff. I mean, it's laughable. So you want to set yourself up. You're not reinventing the wheel, you know, and wheelbarrowing the crap and using a buggy on it. You have to get a pump, and I can pump any mix you throw at me. It doesn't matter. I have 20 years pumping experience with every mix design, high-rise buildings, 500 feet. I've done it all, uphill, downhill. We're already just both floating this out. They're going to seal it up pretty quick with a steel trowel, trap the water in it, because it's already, I mean, this stuff's taking off fast. That's Milton Jr. and other guy rodding it down here. It's hard to see that line under that wet screed. But if you're going to do concrete, you might as well be good at it, and you might as well do high-end and custom stuff. And the only way to do it is to have a pump. The only way to demo it's with a hammer and a skid steer. You can use a dump trailer. It seems like a dump truck these days is a bad investment with the DOT, insurance, registration. Here's my boy Ray. He's like Santa Claus giving the homeowner's son a little dump truck. It was a really cool one. Like I was saying about the dump truck, when they were a vital asset to me. I had 3 dump trucks prior to the recession. And then it became a bad investment when I crunched the numbers on it with the DOT, the registration, the insurance, the maintenance, the transmission, motors, diesel at $4 a gallon, putting on the road. And I used to make a killing with them. And then after that, I just said, this is not good, and I got rid of them because the dump trailer covers it all. It doesn't have a transmission, motor, insurance. You can tow what you want, and if you need, I'm speaking of California solely, I don't know anywhere else. Out here, it doesn't pay. If I need a bigger truck, I can just farm out the 10-wheelers and have them show up at my job. And then when they're done, I'll say, see you later, because in California, to have a 10-wheeler or a dump truck does not pay off anymore. Before, yeah, but now I wouldn't advise it if I was advising somebody on a business. Get a dump trailer, and if you don't have work, it can sit. I think I was paying on 3 of them like $18,000 a year insurance. Registration was like $2,500 on each truck, and the fuel is super expensive and only seems to be going up. So, in my opinion, I would advise people against it in California. I don't know about other states; they're probably not as harsh, and the fuel is cheaper. And you know, the dump fees went up so high here too. They're like $280 for a 10-wheeler, and when I had a 10-wheeler, it was $100, and the trailers were $40 or $20. I can't remember, but it's gone up significantly. So we got Junior troweling this out. I got 3 finishers on this. So when you do a business, you have to really think it out, and you start with nothing, and as you go, you'll know what you need and how often you need it. But a pump out of the gate and an S70 and a breaker and a trailer, I would go an S70, a Susan hammer, and a dump trailer out of the gate to do your own demo and grading, because that gets rid of a lot of labor. You can get the pump later, and you're pretty much set up. My guys get up on the wall and do it. That's why it's the best in the West. You won't see work like this anywhere. This is a basic job, but if you see it in person and see the detail. Thank you very much for watching the Best in the West, and check out West Coast Custom Concrete on Instagram and go to Kristen's Instagram at West Coast Equine. Thank you very much and have a nice day.